I'm the Chief Medical Examiner and Director of the Crime Lab for the Southwestern Institute of Forensic Sciences in Dallas County.
And can you tell me, as a medical examiner, what is sort of your job description?
So a medical examiner is the same thing as a forensic pathologist. Pathology is an area of medicine that's focused on the study of disease. Forensic pathology is even more specific. It focuses on the study of death. So that's basically what I do.
And can you tell us what kind of background, training, experience you've had to qualify you for the job that you currently hold?
Sure. I have a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Science from Texas A&M University in College Station, Texas. Following that, I obtained a medical degree from the University of Texas Health Science Center of San Antonio, which is in San Antonio, Texas. Following that, I completed a combined anatomic and clinical pathology residency with the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And then following that, I did a year of specialized training in forensic pathology that's called a fellowship. And that was with the Office of the Medical Examiner of Allegheny County, which is also in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And then along the way, there are 3 licensing exams that you have to take in order to practice medicine in the United States. Passed all of those on the first attempt. And I also have 3 board certifications in anatomic, clinical, and forensic pathology, all of which I passed on the first attempt.
And since you have become a medical examiner with the Southwest Institute of Forensic Sciences, have you, I guess, been given other duties than just the level of medical examiner?
Yes, sir. As the Director and Chief Medical Examiner, I have a lot of administrative duties as well, but I do still perform autopsies every day.
Or do you have supervisory duties over the others?
Yes.
And with regard to an autopsy that was performed on the date of, I believe it was December 3rd of 2022, approximately 7:30 a.m. on an individual by the name of Athena Strand. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
And so I just stated the date it was on, but how was it that you first became aware of this case? And was it different? Were you just on duty that day, or did you specifically go to perform the autopsy on this particular day?
I was scheduled for work that day, so whatever cases are reported to the office that we ultimately bring in for an examination are your task for the day. So in this case was reported from the Justice of the Peace in Wise County, and they had requested us to perform the autopsy, and that was my assignment for the day.
And according to your understanding, what was that day in relation to the day where her body was located?
So I believe the body, because this was a Saturday morning, I do remember it was on a Saturday. I believe her body was discovered Friday evening, and the case was reported to us somewhere in the late evening, early morning on Saturday, the December 3rd.
And is that common or unusual as far as an autopsy being performed so quickly? How does it normally take place?
No, for cases that are reported to our office and brought in for an examination, we try to maintain a 24-hour turnaround time, so this is not unique.
Okay, you talk real fast.
I'll try. I know. I'll try.
Your forward, not down.
Yes, sir.
With regard to the autopsy on Athena Strand, can you kind of just walk us through just the basic process of what happens from the time that a body is delivered to the medical examiner's office until the point that you encounter it?
So the process of an autopsy?
Well, the process of getting it to you.
Okay.
Yes.
So in this instance, the body is actually brought to our facility, specifically the morgue area. We do scan the body in. The body bag is sealed with a plastic tag that we keep closed until the time of the examination. But as the body is scanned into the building, it doesn't mean that we are automatically starting the autopsy at that point. So we have a cooler that they stay in until the autopsy is performed. And then not the process of the autopsy, just the intake part, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So once you are ready to begin the process of the autopsy, let me ask you this first of all. What's the purpose of the cooler?
So it is kept at a cold temperature to just preserve the condition of the body.
And does that slow the rate of something?
Decomposition, slows the rate of decomposition, yes.
And are there some documents that you usually have to have in order to do an autopsy?
There are some documents that we typically have before the autopsy, yes.
And can you kind of describe what that is?
So our building is a 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week operation, but I am not physically in the building 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Who answers the phone for our facility are our forensic investigators. So anytime a death is reported to our facility, it's the death investigator that is taking that information, determining if this case needs to actually be brought in for an examination, etc. So they will draft a report of all the things that were reported to them by whoever is reporting the death. So it's called an investigator narrative. So that's given to the medical examiner prior to the case, so we have an idea as to what's the circumstances of the death and kind of helps us triage our cases for the day.
So you had some understanding of what was the circumstances before you did the autopsy?
Yes, sir.
Do you also have to be given some official authorization from somebody in the county that it comes from in order for you to do an autopsy?
So because I'm an employee of Dallas County is my jurisdiction. However, when another county is requesting our office to do an autopsy, they have to provide an authorization form stating we're requesting Dallas County to perform this autopsy, correct?
Now, as you are conducting an autopsy, do you take notes, fill out diagrams, things like that, to record your findings so that later you can put them in your autopsy report?
Yes, sir.
And can you describe what that's called?
We kind of colloquially refer to them as our bench notes. Essentially, it's all the notes from the case that I'm going to then take to my desk after I'm done with the case so I can officially memorialize it in a more organized, neat fashion into an autopsy report.
Now, before an autopsy report comes out, is there another short form report that is often issued by the medical examiners before the final autopsy report?
So we do have a cause of death report that you can request through our office, and what it is it's on official letterhead, and it just provides the cause and manner of death for the decedent with the signature of the pathologist performing that examination.
And then, of course, the final document would be your examination report. What is that called?
You're talking about the finalized autopsy report?
Yes.
Yes, that's the neat version. It also incorporates any findings from toxicology or some ancillary testing that we may or may not request, but that is the comprehensive finalized report.